What is up, BBT? I'm going to take you through a trade on the stock trading simulator on SQ from last week. I didn't personally take this trade, but I like the setup and I'm going to walk you through it. I wish I would have saw it that day because this would have been a good trade to take. But so I call this one rangeception because you basically have like a larger time frame range and then you have a smaller range within the larger time frame that you can play off of. And it's rangeception, like a range within a range. I don't know. So here's what this looks like. So on the daily on SQ, we've kind of got this range right here. And it tried to come out of it, broke out a little bit, came back down through here. But, I see this as like the majority of the range. So yeah, we've got a couple candles down here. We've got a little bit up here, but I'm not worried about that. So I like this area. And then when we look at it on like the 60, we can kind of see the same sort of situation here. So I really like the top and bottom of this range. The top of this is probably a little bit too far away. I probably would have had it like right there. But so the prior day, so this would have been Thursday, it closed right at the bottom. Right at the bottom of this range, right? And so then if I look at, and I only like to play the top and the bottom of those the higher time frame ranges. And if I take it to like we'll look at it on the 15. If I take it to the 15-minute, you can see in the morning, in the pre-market, that we've also got this range setting up in the pre-market. And so, it closed at the bottom of the higher time frame range, which is right around here, around 103.50. And it never did anything in the after hours. Like it didn't push up, it didn't push down. There's no big gap. There's no like crazy wick to the top side or downside. It's just setting this really nice range right here, right? So what I like about this is that because we're at the bottom of this, weekly range level or daily range level, I'm very interested in the bottom of this range, right, to play off of, or the top of it. So we could catch, like if we're looking at the higher time frame, we could catch a bounce. So if it breaks the top of this range, we could catch a bounce for a pullback into the downtrend, or we could lose this range for a continuation into the downtrend. So I would just be waiting at this point to see which way it breaks and then play that basically with my stop. Either, depending on how wide I want it to be, it can either be at, the opposite end of the range or, whatever stop you like to do. I like to do 10% ATR and we can talk about that when I jump into here, but let's just get this going. So I'm going to move this over to the 1 minute over here and let's put this on the 5 minute over here. And then we'll do that and we'll get this guy over here. Okay. So we'll hit play and, immediately what I'm seeing as we're opening, and again, just a reminder, I'm looking for like the 103.50 was kind of the level that I was most interested in. So I'm looking for that as the bottom and then the top would be somewhere around like, here, maybe 104.25-ish. So I'm looking for, these two areas. So to see which direction it breaks. But immediately what I notice as we're opening, we've got a little bit of time left to go, but, there's not a lot of volume coming in. We're at 5,000 shares right here. And if I back this up, we'll just kind of go to like the 2 minutes so you can kind of see how much volume usually comes in. So look at this on the 2 minute chart, right? We've got a lot of volume at the open here. A lot, like over 300,000 shares. Even the average volume is like over 90 or 100,000. So when we're opening this morning on this day, go back to the 1 minute, there's not a lot of volume yet. So that's definitely something to pay attention to, right? We're at 5,000, like that's nothing. So it's moving, but it's nothing I'm interested in yet. We're getting a little bit more volume. It's breaking below this level, but I'm still not that interested in it because it's still not a ton of volume. So I'm going to give it a second, wait for it to kind of pull back, see what happens. I will speed this up just a little bit to get this, and then I'll pause it if I need to. So I'm just watching. It broke down, but it's still, 15,000 isn't a lot for opening volume. And as it's pushing back up, we're getting even less volume than that, right? So we've got low volume here. We've got even less volume here on the push back up to this level. So I'm definitely interested in a short. Like as a break of the the lower end of the range right about there. So we'll just see what happens and hit go on this guy. And let it get to getting. I don't want to speed it up because if I speed it up too much, the thing is with these range levels, they happen so quickly in the open just because, it's usually the stock's usually, especially if the range isn't huge, like the stock's gonna like pick one direction or the other, right? So we'll just get this. Okay, so now I see the volume coming in, right? So, we started with this volume, we had lower volume on the pullback, on the push back up, and now we've got volume finally starting to come in here. So got a lot more volume. Yeah, okay, so we're losing this range level and a lot of volume is coming in. Because I'm talking through this, I haven't hit into this yet, but by now, when I saw this volume surpass this volume after we pushed up on low volume and lost this level again, I would have entered into this, but that's okay. I'm just talking through this. And so I am gonna go ahead and just hit in here, just for the sake of being in this, to just kind of show you what's up. And so I do 10% of the ATR for my trades. So that does give the stock some room to breathe. So even here, I've entered in probably lower than I normally would. But even on this one, let's say, I'm at, 102.63, it says over here. PayPal moves up to almost $10 a day sometimes. I think its ATR is like, $9 to $10. So my stop is going to be about $1. So I'm in at 102.63. My stop is really 103.63, somewhere up here. By then I know that if we get back up here, I'm going to get stopped out. Maybe I would get back in if it lost 103.50 again and get a better entry. But for now, I've got a lot of volume coming into the downside. We've lost this level. I want to be in for the move. With a $1 stop, I could still take, get a really decent move out of this because of how far it moves. So it's still a good risk to reward. So yeah, we'll hit play again and we'll just speed it up. So yeah, now, it's falling. Now even more volume's coming in. Like this is, you could look for a place to add on this as it's, pushing up and struggling to push further. And then I would back this up, on like the 60 minute and see where a good place to partial might be. So we lost, this level up here. I might be interested in a partial at the bottom of this, this area here on the 60 minute. And then I would be looking for something, for the downside. And so maybe we would look on the daily chart here. I'm just going to go ahead actually, and while it's down here near 100, which is the bottom of that I was talking about, I'm just going to go ahead and buy half. And then another place would be maybe down here, right? So I'm not quite sure what exactly that is, but that would be like maybe another target. It's probably too far away. So at that point, I'd maybe just be going for the ATR for the day. If the next level that I'm thinking that it's going to bounce off of is way too far away, I'll just do the ATR. And yeah, that's, pretty simple breakdown of a range within a range, at the open. And the open can be, somewhat volatile. So there's usually a good chance if I get into a trade this early in the morning that I'll probably get stopped out. And so something like this, I would probably get stopped out in. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We can just speed it up and see what would happen. We'll just go this way. Yeah, so I would have been stopped out. But let's say I got stopped out here. We came back up to that area of the bottom of that range, right? And we totally couldn't even get there. It couldn't push there. It lost it again. So had I got stopped out here and then watched it fail here, I could have re-entered for another move to the downside. So yeah, a couple good entries here on this one at the bottom of the range within a rangeception. I hope you like this play. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and don't forget to try it out on the stock trading simulator, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.